Few countries have faced as many challenges as Portugal. It's been 4 years now since the Troika's bailout programme. Portugal went through a harsh economic and financial adjustment programme, a period of austerity measures and massive reforms. We spoke to the business editor Paulo Almustere at a private Portuguese TV channel, TVI. Could you tell us what's changed structurally in the Portuguese administration, in the Portuguese state?
Little
has changed structurally in the Portuguese state. The same happens with the Portuguese economy. In this short period of time, we're not able to see the results of the Troika's programme and its structural effects. But there's a permanent structural change in people's lives and in their relationship with the state. The tax increase. To meet the goals previously agreed with the Troika back in 2012, the government implemented a huge tax increase. Just so you can have an idea, the IRS, which is income tax, increased by about 30%.
And will this increase continue? Is it here to stay?
The issue is that we don't have great perspectives. It's not clear how we'll be able to relieve this heavy tax burden over the coming years. This is because Portugal has signed some agreements with European terms that force us to pull the debt down consistently over the next 20 to 30 years. In my opinion, this huge tax increase is here to stay.
And how can we see the effects on everyday life?
The point is that people are starting to get used to living with less money. The Portuguese are poorer now, really. Wages didn't change that much, but we're talking about wages before taxes. Therefore, net income is decreasing. And I'm talking about the middle class, the main class that pays taxes. In terms of consumption, for example, people stopped buying cars. Therefore, sales have dropped sharply. Car sales are now recovering, but the numbers are still very low. At the supermarket, people stopped buying beef. Instead, they went for chicken or turkey, a much cheaper option. These are concrete examples of how people have adapted to the situation. People also began taking lunch boxes to work. Restaurants felt the consequences and experienced a profound crisis. In recent years, Portugal's been the country where the sale of machines to prepare food at home, mixers and the like, skyrocketed to record levels. People also started taking shorter holidays and to take them in Portugal instead of going abroad. Obviously, it was good for Portuguese tourism, but it was hardly a choice. It was just because people don't have money.
Is this shift in behaviour a real change in mentality, or is it only temporary?
It's hard to evaluate because it's very recent, and people are still quite upset with the Troika and politicians. We're going to have elections in September or October, parliamentary elections, and that will be the moment to see if people penalise the political parties. But when we look at surveys, no scenarios imagine a Syriza like in Greece or Podemos like in Spain. No protest formations are gaining comparable electoral support, at least according to the surveys.
The Troika left Portugal around 6 months ago, but the country's being monitored until at least 2026. What future do you forecast for Portugal?
I foresee that with the existing compromises there will be years of permanent austerity because of the promise to reduce the public debt. The state has no way to lower taxes and no way to raise pensions in a country where the population is growing older very quickly and quicker all the time.
We saw
last year that a large number of young people emigrated. Those people have gone. It was a qualified generation, trained in Portugal, but now working abroad. Older and retired people have stayed. There are more and more of them, and they live longer. Consequently, pensions will be lower and lower, and the age of retirement will rise and rise.
Paulo Almustere, muito obrigada por estes esclarecimentos.